Turkey's presidential election is headed for a runoff. Both the incumbent and his main rival failed to win 50% of the vote. That means Turkish citizens will be heading back to the polls on May 28th. As the CBC's Briar Stewart tells us, it's one of the toughest political battles in decades.
After a very high voter turnout of nearly 89%, Turkish citizens will be heading back to the polls in 2 weeks' time. That's because neither presidential candidate got the required more than 50% to declare victory. Now, the momentum really does seem to be resting with Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who's already been in power in Turkey for 20 years. I was down at the opposition headquarters last night. I can tell you there was quite a bit of disappointment. You have a six-party alliance of opposition parties that united with the goal of defeating Erdogan. The leader of the alliance was Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, and in a lot of people's minds, he fell short of what was expected, certainly falling short of what some of the polls had suggested he might win. Right now, he stands at about 44% of the vote. A lot of people in Turkey are framing this as a pivotal election. Critics of Erdogan believe that he has taken the country towards an autocracy and eroded some of the democratic standards in this country, reduced the independence of the central bank and the judiciary. And of course, outside of the country, this election is being watched very closely. Turkey is a regional player, it is a member of the NATO alliance, and it often has a fractious relationship with some of those countries. In fact, Erdogan has accused U.S. President Joe Biden of trying to interfere in the Turkish election. At the same time, Turkey has a strong, growing relationship with Russia, and Erdogan has emerged as somewhat of a middleman, even a negotiator between Ukraine and Russia. He was praised for his work in helping to secure a grain deal that allowed grain to be exported from the Black Sea ports. At the same time, the opposition has promised to try to take this country closer to Europe, possibly even joining the European Union. So there is a lot at stake, but Turkish voters are going to have to head to the polls again on May 28th. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Istanbul.